Now, the operation to retake the Daesh-held city of Mosul in Iraq is proceeding one village at a time. The Iraqi army is currently fighting for control of Bazwaia, a few kilometers east of Mosul. Well, they're using mortars and firing rockets as they advance on the village, which is close to the Christian town of Bartella, which was liberated last week. The Iraqi army says that as many as 800 members of Daesh have been killed in the last 8 days, and they also say 80 towns and villages have been retaken. Well, the United Nations says that the fighting has so far forced 6,000 people to flee their homes. Well, for more, let's speak to Andrew Hopkins, who's joining us from Erbil in northern Iraq. Good morning to you, Andrew. So there are reports of progress by Daesh. What can you tell us about that?
That's right, Kamali. While the Iraqi military are saying they're making quite a lot of good progress, they're just a few kilometers from Mosul now. They say they've killed 800 Daesh fighters since this operation started just over a week ago. There are now some reports that Daesh is making some kind of progress on its own. This is in a place called Rutba, which is a town in quite a remote location in Iraq. It's on the main road from the capital Baghdad all the way through to the west of the country and through to Amman in Jordan. And now what these reports are suggesting is that Daesh has managed to enter the town, it managed to capture some members of the local municipality, some of the police forces, and has carried out some executions. It doesn't actually have control of the whole area yet, but is strengthening its grip on this particular town. It just does have only 20,000 population there, so it's not, in the whole scheme of things, a huge victory for Daesh, but it does give you some indication maybe of what they're up to at the moment.
Absolutely. It's kind of a diversionary attack, isn't it, Andrew, as they did with Kirkuk just the other day. What does this tell us, do you think, about Daesh tactics currently as they're trying to defend Mosul and perhaps going forward if Mosul does fall?
Yeah, they're trying to distract attention and resources really from what's going on in Mosul to try and weaken the offensive that's going on there. You mentioned Kirkuk. There's been a number of these counterattacks over the last few days. In Kirkuk, that's actually only about 80 kilometers away from where I am, and about 100 Daesh fighters actually stormed the city. There was a lot of fighting going on there in a 24-hour period, and 99 civilians were killed. That was actually put down by the security forces in the end. Also in another town called Sinjar in the far north of this country, a similar kind of thing happened. This is a town which became quite notorious a couple of years ago because members of a religious group called the Yazidis lived there, and Daesh initially took this town. They killed a lot of people, they enslaved women, carried out a number of human rights abuses. They subsequently lost control of that town, but it seems have tried to recapture it. But the local chief there is saying that failed as well. But it does show that Daesh is going to put up something of a fight against this offensive in Mosul.
OK, for now, Andrew in Erbil, thank you.